Welcome to Nick Invests. You know that feeling when you check your bank account and actually smile? It's when you stop calculating whether you can afford that coffee or if you'll be eating ramen all week. There's a specific number where this shift happens, and it's not the $1 million you might think. Most financial gurus will tell you that you need massive numbers, but they're missing a much smaller milestone. That magic number is $20,000. Once you hit it, everything changes. Think of wealth building like pushing a heavy boulder up a steep hill. You're straining, sweating, and questioning whether all this effort is even leading anywhere. But once you reach $20,000, that boulder finally reaches the crest of the hill. And after that point, everything starts rolling down the other side almost effortlessly. The difference isn't just mathematical. It's a profound psychological shift. Before that $20,000 mark, your brain is often stuck in what I call survival mode. This is when fear takes over. Every financial decision is based on risk aversion, not opportunity seeking. You take toxic jobs, endure uncomfortable situations, simply because you need the money to survive. Survival mode is like trying to plan a dream vacation while your house is on fire. There's no space for long-term vision, only immediate reactions to threats. But once you cross that $20,000 threshold, something magical happens. Your brain starts to have breathing room. According to research from Vanguard, having just $2,000 in emergency savings increases your financial well-being by 21%. And when that number reaches 3 to 6 months of living expenses around $20,000, you get another 13% boost in peace of mind. At this point, you stop reacting to crises and start proactively building your future. You move from wealth preservation to wealth growth. This is where the math gets really exciting. Let's look at a real-world example. Say you're saving $1,000 a month with a 7% annual return. To reach your first $20,000, it would take you approximately 19 months. That's almost 2 years of consistent effort. But to get your next $20,000, going from $20,000 to $40,000, it would only take you 17 months. You're still saving the exact same amount, but compound interest has officially started doing its job. And here's the truly astonishing part. When you have $400,000, gaining another $20,000 will only take 5 months. Having $20,000 doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your position at work. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you are in an incredibly weak negotiating position. You don't dare ask for a raise for fear of being fired. You don't dare refuse unreasonable demands. But $20,000 is walking away money. You could quit tomorrow and survive for months. This mindset completely changes how you carry yourself. You become more confident, assertive, and respected. This is what people mean when they say money goes to money. It's not because the universe favors the rich, but because having money allows you to see opportunities you were previously forced to ignore. For example, a friend invites you to invest in a business. If you're broke, you'd decline immediately. But with $20,000, you can actually sit down, analyze the numbers, and seize that opportunity. Money gives you options. And in the financial world, options are the most valuable asset you can have. There's an interesting paradox. Once you have $20,000, you start caring less about small expenses. When you're broke, you obsess over which cereal brand is cents cheaper. This consumes your mental energy. But with a solid foundation, you realize a $3 coffee won't break you. It's the big decisions that truly matter. Instead of agonizing over a meal out, you focus on optimizing housing, transportation, and investment strategy. This mindset shift frees up mental bandwidth to think strategically about wealth building. But here is where most people mess up. They hit $20,000 and immediately want to blow it. They tell themselves, "I've worked hard, I deserve a new car or an expensive luxury vacation." Don't do this. That $20,000 is not a reward for good behavior. It's the foundation of your entire financial future. The average person spends more on their car over their lifetime than it would take to achieve complete financial independence. Between car payments, insurance, and gas, most people are throwing $600 to $800 into a black hole every month. Remember, the moment you drive a new car off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. You are actively destroying wealth. Compare that to investing the same amount in a diversified portfolio. Instead of watching your money evaporate, you're watching it multiply. That $30,000 car actually costs you over $200,000 in 20 years when you account for opportunity cost. Suddenly, driving a reliable used car doesn't feel like a sacrifice anymore. It feels like a strategic choice to buy your freedom. Ironically, the person driving the flashy car is probably stressed about money, while the person in the older Honda is quietly building wealth. Once you've conquered the new car temptation, this mindset will spread to every other area of your life. You'll no longer feel the pressure to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to housing or vacations. You'll become incredibly intentional with every dollar you earn and every spending decision you make. The goal isn't to become a penny-pinching miser, but to ensure your money is serving grander purposes. You'll find yourself building a life where money is a tool, not a master. Remember, $20,000 is not the final destination. It's the launch pad for your freedom. Every dollar you save today is an employee working tirelessly for your future. Don't be discouraged if the initial journey seems slow. The boulder is steadily reaching the top of the hill. Once you hit that mark, you'll see that every effort, every time you said no to temporary temptations, was worth it. Start building your foundation today. Your future self will thank you for this decision. Now, how do you reach this milestone faster? The first step is to audit your hidden expenses. Subscriptions you don't use, unnecessary meals. They are leaking your foundation. But cutting expenses alone isn't enough. You need to focus on increasing your income, learning a new skill, taking on extra projects, or asking for a raise. These are the real levers. Every extra dollar isn't just money. It's time you're buying back from the future. The journey to $20,000 isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel tired and want to give up. Especially when you hit $10,000, you're halfway there. But it's often the most tempting point to quit. This is when you need to remember the boulder effect and the accelerating power of compound interest. Stay disciplined and don't let small, temporary rewards derail your bigger goal. Imagine you're building a bridge. Every dollar is a solid brick. Don't abandon it halfway. Don't try to go it alone. Your environment greatly determines the speed of your accumulation. If your friends are always bragging about luxury goods, it'll be very hard for you to stay disciplined. Look for communities and people who are also working hard to build their futures just like you. When you see others doing it, you'll realize that the $20,000 mark is not impossible at all. The resonance from like-minded people will empower you through the most difficult times. The secret to maintaining discipline without effort is to automate everything. Set it up so money automatically transfers to savings the moment your salary arrives, before you even see it. When you don't see that money in your spending account, you won't feel the temptation to spend it. This turns saving from a difficult monthly decision into a painless automatic process. You are setting up a system where wealth is the inevitable result of being intelligently lazy. Life always has unexpected events, car breakdowns, job loss, or sudden medical bills. When you're broke, these are catastrophes that can ruin your entire month or even your year. But with $20,000 in the bank, these catastrophes suddenly become mere minor inconveniences. You no longer have to borrow or worry about paying rent. You simply write a check and move on. This financial cushion gives you an inner peace that no amount of spending can buy. As money anxiety vanishes, a new superpower emerges. Absolute confidence at the workplace. You no longer work out of fear. You work because you want to contribute and grow. This confidence makes you stand out. Your boss and colleagues will notice the shift in your demeanor. And the irony is, when you no longer desperately need money, it tends to find you more through promotions. This is a positive feedback loop. Security creates confidence. Confidence creates higher income, and income further builds security. As you start building wealth, a new temptation arises, wanting to show the world that you've made it. Don't fall into the trap of flashiness. True wealth usually happens in silence. Keeping a simple lifestyle helps you avoid lifestyle inflation and keeps your cash flow moving toward investments. You don't need an expensive watch to know that your time now belongs to you. Stealth wealth is an ultimate power. You have the money, but no one can use it to manipulate you. However, building wealth doesn't mean you have to live in austerity forever. Once you have that $20,000 foundation, you can start rewarding yourself in a calculated way. The key is using the returns from that money to pay for your joy, rather than dipping into the principal. This creates a healthy psychology. You enjoy life without feeling an ounce of guilt. You realize the greatest reward isn't the item you bought, but the freedom that money provides. Reaching $20,000 is a feat, but the greatest journey still lies ahead. Your next goal is $100,000. This is when compound interest truly explodes. Remember, $0 to $20,000 is the hardest phase because you have to do everything alone. But from $20,000 to $100,000, your money has become a powerful companion. Do not underestimate the power of time. Time is your greatest ally now. As you see your money start to grow, a new temptation emerges, the desire to get rich even faster. Don't fall into the trap of get-rich-quick schemes or baseless speculative investments. These shortcuts often lead to losing all the money you've worked so hard to accumulate. Remember, slow and steady always wins this race. Consistency is the key. Protect your foundation like protecting a fortress. Don't let anyone convince you to lower your guard. Once you've mastered the game at the $20,000 level, you already possess every skill needed to become wealthy. What follows is simply repeating that process on a larger scale and over a longer period. You are no longer someone seeking money. You have become a legacy builder. The decision to save that first $20,000 is the greatest gift you will ever give to yourself. It doesn't just change your bank balance. It changes the trajectory of your life forever. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the next paycheck. Lay the first brick today. Every small step, whether saving $10 or $100, is bringing you closer to freedom. I believe you can do it. The world needs more people who are masters of their own finances. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to the channel so we can conquer the next milestones together. See you at the finish line. Wishing you a brilliant financial journey.